Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mabel Ulengwe Tapona from Cameroon, Kenya, and right now I'm resident in the United States. So I always find it difficult when people say, "Where is home for you?" I'm a global citizen. Before relocating to the US, I used to work for an international NGO called ActionAid. I worked in the African Regional Office, and my role was to coordinate HIV and AIDS for Africa. We work in 23 countries. Need a mic? Yeah. I can just raise my voice. I can shout if I have to. Okay. And our main focus of interest was women, and we did a lot of work around HIV and AIDS and the whole intersection with violence, specifically from our human rights perspective. So that's what I'll be speaking on in this panel.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you. And then we have Desan Diallo.
She's not here.
She's the president and CEO. She's the president and CEO of Sister Love. And Sister Love is an organization based in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. And you can say a little bit more about that.
Thank you. Sure. Hi, good afternoon, and thank you for coming to the session. As Hadia was saying, I'm Desan Dixon Jallo with Sister Love Incorporated in Atlanta. We're a 20-year-old women's HIV/AIDS and reproductive justice organization. We also have a 10-year, this year, program office in South Africa in a small place called Witbank. In addition to that, I work with the global campaign for microbicides. I also work with a national women of color reproductive justice organization called Sister Song. I didn't name that one. And teach in international health for graduate students in public health in Atlanta.
And so I think at this point we can start the.
You want to say some things first? Yeah, why not?
Sure. I think I like the discussion we're having right now because for a very long time, a few people talked about violence against women and HIV and AIDS. But as I listen to the discussions we've been having on this 54th session, there's a lot of interest. I don't know if the interest is because of the donor funding that's going into violence, but whatever the reason for that is, I'm happy that that conversation is happening. Because when you look at violence against women and girls and HIV and AIDS, each one of them on its own is a pandemic. Now, by the time you bring the two of them together, it's a total disaster. I mean, for the case of violence against women in Africa, for every one case that's reported, I don't know how many go unreported. So we still have great issues of underreporting. Now, when you look at the cause and effect of violence, for example, in the case of, if I can speak for sexual violence, during conflict situations and post-conflict situations, a lot of time the battlefield becomes a woman's body. So there's issues of rape, there's issues of incest, there's issues of, a lot of abuses happen. And during this time, we've seen situations where many women and girls get infected. We did a video in Rwanda one time. It was called the Silent Genocide. 70% of the women who were raped during war were HIV positive. As a result of being raped and getting HIV infection, they suffered further violence by being thrown out of their homes, they were being disinherited. So not only are you a victim of a certain situation, it actually comes back and increases the stigma around the whole issue. There's a story of a lady I met in Liberia. Before the war in Liberia, she'd been married twice and divorced both husbands because she couldn't have children. Now during the war, she was gang raped. In the course of the rape, she became positive and she became pregnant. And I'm talking to my friend and she says to me, I don't know what to make of this situation. Every time she sees a baby, on one hand, I've always wanted a baby, but on the other hand, the circumstances under which this baby was conceived. So really, these are the situations of the things we're talking about. Now move away from causes of violence. I mean, if I can speak for Africa, we've had really bad conflicts. And now we're not looking at conflict in the sense of conflict. We're looking at the things that happen in Kenya, for example, in Zimbabwe, where under peace times, we have elections gone haywire.